Should you boycott Publix? No! And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why in just a moment. First, why are people even saying you should boycott Publix? Here's a tweet. Publix heiress funded $300,000 to the rally in D.C. on January 6th. I was an avid Publix shopper. No more. Boycott Publix. Here are some alternatives. I've been a customer since 1973, but I have no choice but to boycott Publix. Over here, now Publix controls vaccine distribution in Florida. Hashtag boycott Publix. And finally, before we get to our 5, Publix heiress Julie Jenkins Fancelli refused to help the Parkland kids. Parkland kids gave $300,000 to fund the 1-6 insurrection. Now to it. Should you boycott Publix? No. Stop being ridiculous. Here we go. 5 reasons why boycotting Publix is stupid. Number 1, Publix is 80% employee owned. 80%. That makes it, by a wide margin, the biggest employee-owned company in the United States of America. And this person who said some things about President Trump and donated to the event in D.C. that was peaceful before the insurrection that took place on the Capitol, this person doesn't work at Publix. Julie Jenkins Fancelli does not work at Publix in any capacity. She is not on the board of directors. She is simply a member of the Jenkins family and an heiress to the Publix fortune. You cannot crush her, which brings us to reason number 3. A boycott hurts the employees, not the billionaire family. They're wealthy already. They're good to go, living in the lap of luxury in Lakeland, Florida, and your boycott will not hurt this family. It will hurt the 80% of employees who own Publix right now. Number 4, the funding, the $300,000, organized the rally, not the riot. An event in Washington, D.C. that, while it had incredibly incendiary rhetoric from time to time from people like Rudy Giuliani, did not have any violence added. It was when people left and went to the Capitol that there was an insurrection and violence that took place there, with several people dying. There were also a lot of people who were involved in violence at Black Lives Matter protests over the summer. And there were a lot of big corporations that gave to those protests. But many of the same people demanding you boycott Publix right now would distance the actual protests that Black Lives Matter had and whatever violence, looting, or riots would spin off for it. But we can't do that here, can we? The funding organized the rally, not the riot. I wouldn't have funded either, but it doesn't matter. It's about the employees. Publix has unequivocally denounced Fancelli's actions. They're not just turning a blind eye on this. They are saying that this is something that they do not support. And their 80% of employees probably agree, the ones who own the company. That's what I said. 80% employee-owned. Publix is by far the largest employee-owned company in the country. 188,000 employees. Number 2, for the record, is 25,000 employees. She doesn't work for Publix, dummy. Publix Helps on Twitter says, Miss Fancelli is not an employee of Publix supermarkets and is neither involved in our business operations, nor does she represent the company in any way. We cannot comment on Miss Fancelli's actions. Boycotts lead to layoffs. This is what happens when you boycott a company often. If you squeeze them, they will need to do some layoffs. They've never laid off in 86 years a single employee of Publix. Do you want to be responsible for that as a result of a donation from somebody who has no affiliation with Publix other than the fact that they're an heir to the Publix fortune? They do not currently work there. They do not speak for Publix. They're a free American citizen donating to the causes that they believe in. However much you disagree, the company will have to lay off people if the boycott is effective. She paid for the rally, not the riot. Julie Jenkins Fancelli, top donor to former President Trump, gave $300,000 to the Save America rally, more than half the cost of funding the event. She funneled it through the crazy man, Emperor Alex Jones. Publix's statement on this is very clear. Publix's communication director, Maria Brous, released the supermarket chain's response to the Miami Herald. Ms. Fancelli is not an employee of Publix supermarkets and is neither involved in our business operations, nor does she represent the company in any way. We cannot comment on Ms. Fancelli's actions. Public statement continued. The violence at the Capitol on January 6th was a national tragedy. The deplorable actions that occurred that day do not represent the values, work, or opinions of Publix supermarkets. There you go. But what about the vaccines? Publix has a stranglehold on vaccine delivery. Well, that's not really true. A lot of vaccines across the state of Florida are given out by the government and county facilities and all sorts of different large buildings and convention centers. Publix has donated to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. They've also donated to Democrats. Anybody can help them out as a business. Publix seems to want to donate to them, as every other corporation does. Publix is now distributing the COVID-19 vaccine in more than a dozen counties across the state of Florida. And the vaccines are free. They will be available at other chains soon, like CVS and different places that people will be able to go to receive the vaccine in the coming months. So there's not some grand conspiracy here. Don't boycott Publix. This is the main message here. You'll do more to hurt the employees than the billionaire lady you're targeting. She'll be fine. They won't. It's as simple as that. But what do you think? Are you still going to boycott Publix? Do you think that they're inseparable from this woman who is a member of the Jenkins family? Or do you think I'm right, that people doing this is stupid, misguided, and will hurt the employees that we called frontline workers and heroes just a matter of months ago? Let me know in the comments. Follow at The News Junkie on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and elsewhere. And we'll talk to you real soon.